Yo, what's going on, guys? Zankith here. Welcome back to the channel. We got a really exciting alliance war today. We managed to beat the boss in under 4 hours. Like, it's a boss rush. And definitely it's one of the fastest. I'm not sure if it's the fastest, but it's really up there because I think I was talking to Steeler from in one of the line chats, and he said that it's not the fastest, but yeah, it's almost there. I guess the difference would be I don't really know. Like, okay, unless you have all 10 people just boss rushing, yeah, that's obviously faster, but that's not really tier 1 level where they want to clear the map. We want to clear the map, obviously, and the thought process here was that there are a few fights that, you know, they weren't really tough, but if we didn't have the global, it would just make it easier. And I told the officer that, yeah, I looked at my path, I can do all my fights. Then he looked at other people's paths and said that, well, he doesn't see anything that's sketchy, so he's just going to help me boss rush. And I'm like, sure, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. So yeah, we decided to boss rush, and we finished the war in like under 4 hours, which is pretty fast. And I took a lot of fights as well. I took 12 fights. But man, I lost my deathless streak. I died once on the way, and it was to a rank 4 Chavez. No, sorry, freaking Guatemala Chavez. I've taken her so many times before on that note. In fact, I've taken her with the Mystic Dispersion. Okay, not so many times. I think I've taken her at least twice, and she was far more cooperative in throwing specials, and she didn't just randomly throw heavies, but we'll get to that when we get there. We had a rank 4 Human Torch over here, which is pretty cool. I think this was the first rank 4 fight of my war. I fought rank 4 Torch, OmegaSentinel, Chavez, of course, and I think Doom. So the base idea, as I explained, was just, you know, to make life easier for other people. Last war, when we were just playing like normally, quote unquote, you can define that however you like, but we were progressing at a general pace, average pace, whatever you want to call it. We were 46-0. But then for the last 4 fights, we went from 46-0 to 50-2, so we died twice. And back then the boss was down, the global was down as well. But, you know, I think I jinxed it because I was like, hey, BG2 is gonna score a donut. And this time around, I made the mistake of dying. So, you know, we lost that donut. It sucks, man. On top of that, I lost my deathless streak. I'm 120-0. I was 120-0. Like, I was 90-0 until the end of last season, and then I took 11 fights last war, and then I think I took 9 or 10 fights here, or maybe I died on my 10th fight. So yeah, sucks, man. 120-0. I've got to build that streak up again. I mean, it's not, it doesn't show that you're amazing or something, in my opinion at least. I mean, sure, you have deathless streaks, it's great. Maybe you are taking the safest fights, so naturally you are gonna have a deathless streak. You have really good officer who only tells you, hey, your fights are only these 6 or 7 in this war, and you're not supposed to do any more because that's your roster, or that's your team that you're coming in with. And you can build up like 200-0, 300-0 over 3 or 4 seasons, I guess. But I had 120-0 over a season, actually, because the last time I died was second war of previous season, and this is the second war of this season. So yeah, give or take, I died once in the whole season. Yeah, give or take, yeah. Anyways, about this war, there isn't much to really talk about except for the mini boss island. This is Kraven over here, and I was like, oh cool, Kraven, he can what do you call that, root me. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna deliberately go and walk into his trap, and I'm gonna shrug off his root debuff because I'm Kingpin and I'm awesome. But I totally forgot he has a crossfight that reduces your combat power gain by 6.25% per root per trap you stepped into. And if I knew that, I wouldn't have done this. I mean, it's not something that you keep at the back of your head, and I was like, oh damn, that's really a thing. I totally forgot. So you can see me maybe over here or in a few clips as well ahead. You'll see me try and looking at what's the crossfight that I have. Now I'm trying to click on it and it doesn't show. Then I had to actually end up looking it on May what it does, and I had 2 of them. So now my combat power rate is reduced by roughly 13%. You know, it's not a big deal, but it's still a thing. Yeah, OmegaSentinel over here, nothing really difficult, nothing really to, you know, talk much about. She's pretty simple fight here. We were actually scared when Ink, who's the leader of HC Magneto, he said that, hey, Kingpin is getting banned. I'm like, no way, man, that's not gonna happen. And they said, well, they know that you have a YouTube channel that and you take on so many fights, multiple linked and all that bullshit. And I just tagged my officer. I told him that, look, if Kingpin is banned for this war, I have a kidney failure. I gotta go to the hospital. I'm not gonna be able to do this war. And he said it's probably the same from him as well, because we had 3 people who ran Kingpin this war. He's definitely up there, man. I don't want to say that he's better than other champions, but I'm gonna say that he's more used than a vast majority of champions, at least for us. It might be different up in other alliances, but I think we run about a 5th or at least a 6th, of our, what is the 6th? Yeah, at least a 6th, I would say. We're probably even a 5th of our alliance runs Kingpin and war. Like, I know 2 people who run Kingpin in my battle group, and sometimes one just, you know, happens to be like, oh, okay, I think I can Kingpin this thing. And I know at least 1 each in other battle group, plus another one, you know, depending on the matchups. All right, here we got Sersi. I don't think this was rank 4. This was only a rank 3. She's pretty simple. All I had to do was, you know, wait out the glancing. I don't want her to throw a special attack when glancing is up, because she can then pause it and it will, yeah, it's just gonna elongate the fight for no reason. Also, I think at one point I knock her down and it triggers Conduit. Let's see where it was. Was it here? Yeah. Okay, this was Cold Snap. So before this, I've already triggered Conduit. So this means I've triggered it twice, because second is Plasma, I think. And third is Cold Snap, and last one is Incinerate. I don't know if I trigger it once again. Oh, no. Okay, so yeah, I know what happens. If you fail the debuff from triggering, it automatically cycles to the next one, yeah. But I'm pretty sure I triggered Plasma or Shock at some point, and it, like, what's her name? So over here, yeah, there you go. So Sersi just reduces the duration of Shocks, Incinerates, and maybe Plasma too, I'm not sure, by up to 50% or 70%, depending on how many transmutation buffs she has. And this is the fight. So I'm gonna let you guys know before you know, start acting like a dickhead and be in the comments like, hey, this guy is clickbaiting. He said it's the fastest boss rush, but he died. I know I died. There's no point in, you know, rubbing salt on my wounds. On second thoughts, I should have, you know, used a invuln boost over here just to be a bit safer. You can see she's just almost randomly throwing those heavy attacks, and it's not fun when and over there also didn't trigger. I also didn't want to parry. It just, you know, happened. I've been telling a friend of mine that if you're going up against OmegaSentinel, you know, just pop an invuln boost. If she gets to SP2, push her to SP3. That's the safest method, and you're gonna be fine. And I didn't even listen to my own advice. So naturally, I ended up dying over here, and I know it sucked. It felt bad. I lost my deathless streak. I mean, I don't care so much about that. That was not the main thing. I was pissed. I should have used an invuln boost right now, but I didn't, because I was like, no, I think that method is still better. It does work when the AI is cooperating. Now in this second fight, you're gonna see she's just gonna throw random heavies when I'm not even holding my block. So next time onwards, we're sending an APOC or Archangel or Omega Red over here. But yeah, this happened, but at the same time we saved other people from dying, I guess, because we only had this one death this battle group, which was mine. Unfortunately, sucks, but it is what it is. And yeah, if you guys see other people die in their video, you don't like be a dick, and don't say that, oh, you died, you're bad at this game, or shit like that. Here I knew that she wasn't gonna go unblockable because she triggered her negative dimension. So those are some things that also you need to keep in mind at times. Yeah, man, sucks that I died. Don't be a dick in the comment, except for if it's Coop. If Coop dies, you can be a dick. That's totally normal. You can troll him, it's fine. Alright, over here I show the difference between having an SP1 degen active and not. So this was a previous fight. If you didn't see it clearly, just go back and pause it. SP3 of hers did 35,000 damage without a SP1 degen, and this time it did only about 21. So that is the power of SP1 degen, and I wish I had a SP3 defense boost as well, but I didn't. Alright, Mangog, you know, not really a tough fight. Done this several times. This is just gonna be a simple walk in the park. He was actually quite cooperative over here, and he didn't really, and yeah, out of panic I actually used an invuln boost, thinking that okay, I'm gonna go into Doom fight and I'll have that invuln, but I totally forgot that we're waiting about 30 minutes more for our energy, or the taxi is gonna give me the energy, and that's gonna take about 30 minutes. I totally forgot that. But yeah, this is the, or one of the fastest, if not the fastest, boss rush. It's sub 4 hours. I think it's exactly 3 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. You could I mean, if you're just using the backup, I don't know, if you're just using the backup energy, you could do it in 3 hours, and you could do it in, could you do it in 3 hours? I think that's the fastest. You're not gonna get faster than that. But yeah, 3 hours 40 minutes or something is in that similar ballpark as well. Let me quickly actually look up, because I did send this image to one of the groups, so I can see if what was the exact time. Let's see. Where is that? And as for Doom fight, you know, it's nothing really difficult. It's pretty simple, straightforward. There isn't anything going on. I think I trigger some global, like a global debuff, which again, it's whatever. One thing I would say that you really need to have hazard shift up, because someone else in our alliance was doing this Doom boss with Kingpin. I don't know if it was off season or it was last war, but they timed out, and I was like, yeah, that is very likely to happen because Doom is pretty tanky. You're not really gonna heal up as much and all that stuff, so just be careful. Alright, yeah, so exact time was about 3 hours 44 minutes 43 minutes. Yeah, it's in that ballpark. I guess you can be, I guess the fastest would be 3 hours. I don't think so, but maybe 3. I mean, 3 hours is definitely the fastest. You can't really go any faster than that unless you're having like all 10 people or at least 3 people on the same path, which is ridiculous. I did have quite a few people help me with the energy. So for instance, the guy on path 6 entered first. He used up his energies to get to the shared mini bosses and all that stuff. I did use one of my energy, and if I had waited, like I guess it would have been the same. Perhaps maybe 3 hours, but yeah, 3:45 is like the next fastest. So yeah, Doom is going down pretty quick, or not pretty quick, but it is a bit of a long fight. I think I get my overpowered nullified, or it has already happened. I wasn't really looking at the video, and at that point my damage fell down a bit, and I'm like, oh shit, I think I should really need I think I need to get some debuffs on me. But yeah, Doom is pretty easy boss. He isn't really tough. There isn't really much going on for him here. And I try to end it with style with a heavy attack, but I get smacked. But it's a fight in the bag. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.